There we go. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hey, what's up?
So since we last spoke, how's it been going?
It's been going pretty well. I'm trialing for this new guild, right? We played on Sunday, and I felt it went pretty damn good. I took a lot of what you said to heart. I also wrote it down and tried to practice it. And I think I'm doing pretty all right now.
Excellent. So, have you? Let's see here. Have you been working on, I guess, Sprocketmonger? Because you asked me for the clip.
Yeah, so we killed Styx and are currently progging Sprocket Monger. And I
Okay.
believe what you told me, you gave me some homework, right? The homework was to use
Yes.
the Scorch macro, bring you a VOD for this session, stand closer to the bosses in general so I don't get lag on my Phoenix Flames, stop
Mhm.
using Scorch outside of Burst, plan my movement better with both Alter Time and Blink, and also when we pull the boss and we do Bloodlust, use Shifting Power right after Hypothermia instead of trying to dump Phoenix Flames, I believe, is what you said last time.
Yes, that's right. So, do you have any VODs since you've been playing?
Yes, I have about 4 hours of footage.
Excellent. Yeah, let's we probably won't be able to go over everything, but we can definitely take a look.
If you want, I'll send you the VOD so you can just skim through it. I think it's easier.
Okay.
I also have logs, but this guild is private logging. I'm not sure how to share it.
Oh yeah. If you're private logging, it's gonna be kind of a hassle because I'd have to like have you share out your screen.
Yeah.
And then it would be really hard because I'd basically have to tell you what to click.
Could I
So
copy
it'll
the
probably
logs or
be easier
something?
for us to just do the it'll probably just be easier for us to do the VOD.
Sure.
Let's see here. Okay, sharing out my screen. Let me know when you can see it.
I can see it. Looks good.
Okay. All right, so let's try and find a good point to take a look. Okay, so you downed Sticks. We'll look at like one Sticks pull. Let's look at the kill actually. Okay, looks like he killed the boss this pull.
Unfortunately, I also died. I was out of healer range at this pull, but yeah, I was doing so well in this pull until that.
Hold on, I want to make sure I saw that correctly. Fireball, combustion, fire blast. Should be pyro. Yeah, good. Then we have a fire blast bracers. Yep. Okay, so far so good. Now we're in hyperthermia. And our goal in this hyperthermia, because we want a shifting power like right away, right?
Yep.
So basically our goal here is just to make sure we exit having spent all of our fire blasts.
Oh, right.
And
Yeah.
that way we can immediately shifting power to get the cooldown reduction. Because we're in Bloodlust and we can get oh, looks like you got lucky TA proc there. That's beautiful. Right as you
So
want to shifting power.
yeah, so I actually have a question about that.
Yeah.
I don't think I reacted in time this time, but I do notice that this happens several times on Sprocketmonger. Either I would randomly proc hypothermia or bust in like specifically in this case after the pull, right? My initial combustion. Is it better to just leave shifting power until the second combustion then?
Okay, so if you shifting power as soon as your hyperthermia ends and you've cleared all the checks, so you have no hot streak, you have I guess first let's talk about like what actually triggers the buffs. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So there's different triggers for all these. One of them is triggering on hot streak. Okay, so if we go look at hyperthermia first. So the way that hyperthermia works for its proc is it's on hot streak. It says while combustion is not active, consuming hot streak has a low chance. So basically, if you're going to proc a hyperthermia, it's going to be whenever you spin a hot streak.
Mm.
Okay. So that's one thing that you can look at to see, okay, if I spin that hot streak, did I get a hyperthermia or not? You know when it's going to trigger, so you can be like you can be aware and you'll have faster reaction time because you know it's the hot streak after you hyperthermia that you would potentially get a second hyperthermia. Okay. So
Yep.
if you pyro there and you don't proc it, then you're good to shifting power. Now on TA, time anomaly has no actual like proc. It's just if you're in combat. So basically, like every second you're in combat, you have a chance to proc this, and it's a 1 in 3 chance, and it's a fairly low chance for it to proc in the first place. So if you're getting time anomaly procs like right after you exit your first hyperthermia, that is like beautiful, right? That's lovely, but the timing could be a little bit better. It's
Mm.
very unlikely that you just like always get this right after your hyperthermia. It can happen, but it is higher chance. So the reason why it's higher chance is because you're in time warp there. So instead of rolling 1 in 3 for which buff it's going to give you, it's actually rolling a 1 in 2, right? Because it's either going to give you Fire Blast charge or it's going to give you combustion. The Fire
Okay.
Blast charge doesn't care if you're maxed out on Fire Blast charges, it'll give it to you anyways. The combustion checks if you have combustion. The time warp checks if you have time warp. So in
Does it
that
check
moment,
for
you have
bloodlust or
time
time
warp.
warp?
It only works if it's time warp specifically.
Okay, because I think in this case we had shaman bloodlust.
Why don't you press Bloodlust then instead?
I want to, but yeah, I'm not comfortable in taking that much space yet. Like, hey, can I press this button just yet? But I want to. I know it's a slight DPS increase.
Well, on the pull, if you're just lusty anyways, right? On Sprocketmonger, you should just rip it, right? Because you're lusting the pull anyways on that boss.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough.
It doesn't matter if you like you can't do it wrong if it's on the pull.
All right.
So I would press time warp. It's a damage game for you, by the way,
Yeah.
to have time warp.
I heard.
Um, I wouldn't ask permission if it's the pull lust because they don't care if it's bloodlust or time warp. They just want to see bloodlust happen on the pull,
Yeah.
right?
Fair
I
enough.
can understand the hesitation when it comes to lusting later if there's like a specific time you need to lust, but if it's on the pull, it shouldn't matter.
All right.
Anyways, so you have a very, very small chance of proccing combustion, and you have a decent chance of proccing a hyperthermia from your pyroblast. The way it works is on RPPM stuff, right? So this is RPPM. I'm gonna get into the weeds a little bit here, but uh, RPPM procs, if you haven't proc them, have like a higher chance to proc generally. So if you've been in combustion the whole time, then you can't proc hyperthermia, right? And if you're already in hyperthermia, then you can't proc hyperthermia. So there's a fairly large chance you're going to get a hyperthermia right there. But the time anomaly is like a pretty low chance. There's no like
Mm.
RPPM like balance that's been built at this point, so it's fairly low chance.
It's just a
It's just
question.
pure RNG.
RPPM random procs per minute or?
Yes, random procs per
Okay.
minute. That's what that stands for. So as you exit this hyperthermia here, right? What you're basically looking for is, do I get a hyperthermia from the hot streak Espen? Now, in this case, right, the
Yeah.
time anomaly combustion happened while you were in hyperthermia still. So you had so much time to react to this,
Yeah.
right?
You're right.
So much time. You would not shifting power here. Now, I think what's happening here is you don't have good enough indicators for when hyperthermia, number one, when hyperthermia is ending, because you just have the one icon. Maybe it would help to see more
Yeah.
about like when this is exactly ending. Number two, you're not even noticing that you have time anomaly, right? This isn't a matter of your reaction time being slow. It's just your UI is not obvious enough to
Yep.
tell you that you have the proc. So my recommendation would be to add a sound to the combustion TA proc specifically. Make it like a cha-ching sound or something like that. That's what I would do. Cash register sound. That way you know when you proc time anomaly and you can't miss it because you hear a sound.
Yeah. That's a. I'll add that. That's a really good idea.
A lot of people I coach have this UI setup right here. And I like see it with everyone who has it. They all just don't even notice when time anomaly procs because it's not obvious enough in this UI.
Yeah.
So let's fix that first. Are you able to log into the game right now?
Yeah. I'm online.
Okay, cool. Share out your screen. Okay, and then open your WeChorus. And then type in combustion into the search bar. Yeah, click this.
I think
Combustion.
it's
Yep.
the buff.
Click the. Okay, okay. So it's this one right here. Okay, so you do click conditions and click add condition and click if. No. Hold on. You're
Okay.
getting ahead of yourself. Click all of combinations at the top. Okay. And then for this first one, do actually hold on. What are the triggers? Can you click trigger up top? I just want to take a look at what the triggers are. What's this one? So this is
First one,
combustion. Okay.
combustion.
And what's the second trigger?
Maybe time. Oh,
Player buff,
SKB.
Sun King's Blessing, their fear. Okay, so we don't care about that one. So it's just trigger one. So go back to conditions. Do all of trigger one active true. And then do, yes, so click this. Do trigger one total duration. Because we don't want it to be for combustion, right? We just want the TA.
Yeah.
Do total duration is less than or equal to. And then do 8. And press OK. And then on the then, do a sound. And then do play. And then look for ka-ching. It's alphabetical, so it's with a K. Ka-ching.
Could you recommend a different one? Because I have jackpot for ka-ching. Like I hear ka-ching here and there because of the forset, right? Oh, it's not?
No.
It's
Click
like a
ka-ching. You'll hear a different sound.
Okay. Where is it? Ka.
But if you want a different sound, you could do another. It just needs to have like a positive, like, just a sound that you like. Fatality. Right? No, not fatality. Trying to think of other good sounds.
I mean, I like cats. Maybe the meow.
Yeah. Do the cat meow then. Okay, so if the cat meow, that sounds to me like a cat meow of like a cat that like needs something. Like I need, like the cat needs to be fed. But let's pretend that the cat's happy to see you. Okay, so sound channel and then do master.
Yeah.
Okay. By the way, just a tip for sounds. If you have sounds, which you should, sounds are very useful. There's only so many sound channels the game like can handle at the same time. So what you want to do is go up a little bit. You see where it says audio channels?
Yeah, audio channels.
You went too high. Go back down.
Isn't
But
it
no,
this?
this is good. This is good. Yeah, and then turn off ambient sounds. If you have ambient sounds on, it takes up extra channels. Even with the max channels, it can still max out.
Okay.
I would turn that off. I would also turn off error speech. I don't think error speech is very useful. Yeah, the other stuff is probably fine. You just need to make sure that it has enough room to like fit the sound in there. And there's a lot of ambient sounds in Liberation of Undermine because there's a lot of like bzz, bzz, bzz in the background and stuff like that.
Is that why on
And those
some
will just clog up the
fights?
channels.
Okay, is that why on some fights like a weak or a sound will like sound for half a
Not
second
go
and then
off.
just cut off?
Yeah, that's why.
Oh, I've
Because
been
you have the
so
ambient
annoyed with
sounds
that.
turned on. You can
Okay.
also click enable reverb, and that will help too. Press combustion and just see if it makes the sound. Because it shouldn't make the sound. Okay, no sound. Good. That's what we want. Let's wait for 8 seconds and make sure it doesn't go off. Okay, good. We're good. Yeah, so it should make the sound whenever you get a TA proc, but not in combustion. That's what we want. So if you just, while I keep going, if you just go down below and you get in combat with the tank mob, but like stand out of range so it can't hit you, you'll eventually get a TA proc. So you'll hear a cat meow if it's working.
Is it this one?
Yeah. Just hit him and like don't be close enough for him to hit you back. Yeah, just back up a little bit more. He can still hit
Oh,
you.
it works.
Oh, there it goes. Okay,
That
we
was
already
fast.
tested it. Yep, there we go. All right, perfect. All right, back to my screen.
All right.
Okay, yeah. So now you're gonna have a cat meow here, and then you can't possibly get caught off guard by
Yeah.
this, right?
Yeah.
Because we do not want to press shifting power for in combustion. And so right here, you pressed it there. So obviously you're not going to do that. You would wait until after, right? But there's something you should be aware of. So if you get a TA proc right after your combustion, especially if it's during the hyperthermia, that's like really good. That's like really, really, really good RNG. Part of playing fire is like maxing out what your potential is if you get good luck, because there is a certain level of gamba to this. So we need to like seize the opportunity whenever the luck is in our favor. So if you get a TA proc, you're like basically pretending you're in combustion, right? But if it's during hyperthermia, you can basically just like mash pyro, which is really nice. You can maybe throw in some fire blast in there too. But you may not have to shifting power. So shifting power only gives you 12 seconds of cooldown reduction.
Hmm.
It takes 3 seconds to channel, right? So that's like 15 seconds in total. You can easily get 15 seconds of cooldown reduction on your combustion just during a TA proc.
Oh,
So
okay.
effectively what could happen is if you're in like bloodlust and everything, you may not have to shifting power at all if you get that TA proc, right? Like you might just go from bust to hyperthermia to TA proc back into bust. And then you wouldn't have to shifting power in that case.
Okay.
So it's just a judgment call. What I would be looking for is what your fire blast charges are looking like and the cooldown on combustion. If both are good, then you don't need a shifting power. If you're like out of fire blast charges and your combustion is like almost ready, just go ahead and rip the shifting power anyways, even if you don't get full value out of it. Because you want to have the full fire blast charges going in on that second one, because you're going to
Mm,
still be in
yep.
bloodlust and you want to like use as much resources in that as possible.
Mm.
Ideally, you also carry over a GI. So like it should be fairly easy to farm up a GI during that hyperthermia. And then if you have the GI, especially if it's like while these ads are out right here with combustion, that's like huge for you because the fire blast is going to cleave 2 additional targets and you're going to get like 13 seconds of cooldown reduction total from it,
Yeah.
from the fire blast and the 2 additional fire blasts afterwards. So that's like really big for you. By the way, that's just something you should always look out for is like if you have a GI proc you can carry into a combustion. Remember, it's basically going to give you like 2.5 fire blast back. So like we pool for combustion, but if you're pooling and you have a GI, like you're probably over pooling. Cause like you're gonna get 2.5 back anyways. So like if you have like 1 fire blast going into bust or like 2 with GI, like you're totally fine. You don't need 3.
How
If
would
you
you
have 3, in fact, you're probably gonna overcap
Yeah. I was thinking
because
like
you're gonna get that return.
I
And
was
don't
think
brace her during it. Don't brace her. You might have to brace her at a weird time. You need to set up the bracers where it's like you have 2 fire blasts because you need to do 2 fire blasts in your last 3 globals and then you bracers. So like if I have bracers coming up and it's like 3 or 4 seconds out, I'm gonna try and like not use a fire blast if I only have 1 because I want to like build a second one. So I might Phoenix Flame instead there and then do the fire blast, fire blast, fire blast bracers, right? Or I
yeah.
might wait until right after a GI because I'm gonna get 2 back anyways, and then I can use those 2 and then I can bracer.
I think that's a problem I have just in general. Tracking GI properly. Um I've added like an extra glow on Burden of Power just so I can see like when it's up. But it's like you said, like it's an icon next to Buster. It's kind of hard to see sometimes, especially if I'm lusting and looking for mechanics and stuff like that. How would you
Yeah,
recommend tracking Glorious Incandescence in a slightly better way?
I mean, just have a better UI for it, right? The thing is everyone copies the top players' UIs, but like UI is built for the player, and like if you're at that level, like you're probably aware of all this stuff without needing the UI in general. So like it's actually kind of bad because I mean, like the UI is fine. It's just he doesn't like Fired Up like doesn't need to emphasize that because he's like aware of it, right?
Yeah.
But then someone else picks up the UI and it's like not made for them. It's like if you copy like THD's UI, right? He has like no UI. So a lot of players will copy like the top player's UI and it's like, oh, this will be perfect because it's the top player's UI. It's like, well, you probably don't have like the savant way of playing where it's like you don't even need it, right?
Yeah.
It's like I would overemphasize it, and it's going to be subdued in this. So like that's the problem, and that's why I always am having the same conversation with everyone who's using this UI.
Yeah.
Is like you need to emphasize it. So I would recommend to have a separate tracker for GI, somewhere where you can't miss it. It needs to be like abundantly obvious to you. So on this one, let's try and find where it is. Okay, so the spheres are here. That one's actually pretty good,
Yeah.
right? You
It's
can't
gonna
miss
be
it.
next to
Now,
the spheres also. It's gonna pop
My
up there.
my criticism of this is that it's colored the whole time. I don't think that's logical. I think it should only be colored whenever you have 4 or more. Because you actually don't like really care about the spheres until you hit 4. That's where you start paying attention to it. So
Okay.
desaturating this before 4, in my opinion, would be better. That's how mine is set up. Because I want it to catch my eye whenever it's like the point where I actually need to pay attention to it, right?
Mm.
And you don't really need to pay attention to it until it hits like 4. Also, I can't see how long you have on it, right? Like it should show how long your sphere is about to like so you can tell if it's about to expire. He just doesn't have that.
Oh wait, does it? It
Like, in
doesn't
my
track that?
opinion, you should just take my sphere and GI tracker and just, like, slap it somewhere else on your screen, because I don't think you're getting all the information you need from this.
Okay.
I can just give you mine if you want.
Yes,
Not
please.
the full UI, but I can just pull just the icon
Yeah,
for
that'd be
my
awesome.
spheres and for my burden for my GI.
That would be
The
really
burden
good.
is good. I think his burden tracker is good. It's got the duration, it's glowing. That's
That's
great.
custom. It wasn't glowing before. I just couldn't
Oh,
see
okay.
it,
Well,
so
there
I
it
added
is.
it for me.
This is what I'm saying, man. I'm always saying, like, the UI is built for the player, right? You copy someone else's UI, like, you're not gonna like, it needs to work for you, right? And it's working for someone else. So we need to make sure it works for you. So here, just add this. I didn't even see where his GI was. I didn't even see when the GI procced. Oh, it's
It
up right now. Where is it? Like, how do I even know GI is up?
Like this is the primary problem with his UI, and I don't know how to fix this. Like GI will show, is GI the buff with like it's like a yellow buff with a dude in the middle?
Up here.
Yeah, that one only shows like for 3 seconds and then it goes away. Like I'm, please help me here. Like I hate this about his UI.
Okay. Yep. So I'll show you how mine is set up, because I have already worked through all these problems and I've made solutions for them. So on the left side is that stuff. On the right side is the other buffs I track, right? So field of burn is over here. Spheres is over here. It's grayed out and it's transparent whenever it's low. And if we start building these up, you're going to see it turns in a moment here. See, 4, and now it's lit up. 5, and now it's going to go to burden. See, I have the duration on it too. That's important to track. And then here it's burden, right?
Yeah.
And then now we have GI, big lit up. You can see the duration on it. Very obvious. And you can still see your spheres, right? Because you need to see that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You need to still be aware of your spheres, because you can have GI and 5 spheres at the same time, right? Like right here, if I just keep mashing pyro here during this, and then I'm just going to use up all my fire blasts so I don't get tempted to use them, right? If I'm here with this GI, like, I can still get spheres in the background, and I need to be aware of that, because the thing that's going to proc the GI is the fire blast, right? The fire blast is what procs that one.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
here, let's just give you these 2 icons.
thank you. I think that also that's why Glorious Incandescence only shows for like 2 seconds on his, because as soon as I proc another sphere, it
It goes
replaces the
away.
Glorious Incandescence icon. That's so
Yeah.
weird. Why does it do that? I need to check. That's
Just
so
because someone's really good at the game doesn't mean they have a good UI.
his UI is so pretty though. That's why I like it. It looks so good.
Yeah, the function is the important thing, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So here, let's grab, I think this one also tracks my spheres. Yeah. Okay, so let's grab this one. You can actually put it like in there so it can look pretty. I can like fix his UI. So here, this one's for the burden. And then this one's for GI. So this is 2 separate ones. And then I'm going to show you how to put it in his.
I just drag it into important buffs, right?
Yes, but you're going to need to turn off his. So you'll put it into important buffs and it should automatically like snap and be the right size. Here, let me go back to your, oh, you're not sharing your screen.
I'll
Yeah, if you could share out your
reshare.
screen again. Okay.
So I disabled his Spellfire Spheres, Glorious Incandescence,
Okay.
Load Never. What was the
And then
name
you
of
just
yours
put it,
called?
the 2 that I just sent you were,
Fire Burden and Orb?
one was called Fire GI and one's called Fire Burden and Orb.
Okay, so
And put it next to where his are. You don't want to just
Oh.
put it in a random spot. Put it like right next to where his is. So like
Oh.
literally put this one above his Burden and Power. Yeah, right there. And then put the Fire GI one. It's called just Fire GI. Yeah, put this one right above his Glorious Incandescence. There you go.
So the Spellfire
And then
Sphere.
I don't know if his is set to automatically resize the icons, but let's see. So just close this now. And then hit this target with a Phoenix Flame and the Fire Blast, and then Pyro.
Yeah, look good.
Yeah, see, look, it's looking good. And now it's going to be 5, and now it's going to go to burden, right? And now you have GI, and you can
Okay,
still
so
see the sphere. Oh, that one's small, though. We got to fix
that
that.
one I gotta fix. Let's do it.
Yeah. It looks like, yeah, so just grab the size. You can actually do this.
Just
Okay,
need
if
to
you
drop.
right-click the one that's called Fire, Burden, and Orb, you can do Copy Settings Display, and then you can paste Settings Display on the Fire GI. That should fix it. Might have to re-add the glow, but let's see. Just don't attack the PvP dummies. Oh, too late.
Are these the ones that keep me in combat or?
It's gonna shift you into PvP, which like it screws with like all your coefficients and talents and stuff.
Oh, okay. Let's just go up here
Yeah,
then.
whenever you enter PvP in this game, you know how people say like, "Oh, they can't buff that or nerf that because of PvP," right?
Yeah.
They're so full of shit because like whenever you enter PvP, everything about your character changes. Like all your spell coefficients change. Like you get new talents. Talents start doing different things. Like there's this whole back end thing that happens that like shifts all sorts of parameters about your character whenever you enter PvP combat. So if you hit those dummies, you're gonna see like all sorts of weird stuff start happening.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Okay, so
Yeah, there it is.
so now I got time anomaly
Okay, so the
that's
glow got removed. Just add the glow back in, and then it should be good.
let's go. Just drop. I hate this combat thing. There we go. Okay,
Click glow
let's
one.
go.
Go back to display. Click glow one. Click show glow. There it is. That's good enough.
I think I want to add
You can change it
action
if you want.
button. Yeah.
Okay, that one's like super bright. But yeah, I mean it's important to know about, right?
I just want to see it,
Um,
never miss.
yes. Okay. Back to me. You can just leave your screen share going, by the
Yep.
way, if you want. Okay. So here we're in hyper, and you've spread ignites. Remember, it's always fire blast. This guy's actually trolling you.
Yeah, it's fuck
It's
like that.
always fire blast that spread your ignite, right? So if you ever see a situation like this where there's ads running in, they don't have ignite, like you probably want to fire blast here to just make sure. And you have a heating up here, so you wouldn't launch a hot streak.
Wait, really?
So you have like an extra incentive to like push a fire blast in here because of this ignite spread you want to do.
Doesn't every spell spread ignite? Only fire blast?
No, no.
Oh.
No, it's only fire blast.
Oh, what the hell? I had no clue.
Only fire blast spreads ignite. Everything else, I mean, like if you're not fire blasting, you're just like not spreading ignite. So if new stuff comes up, you need a fire blast. Also, I guess this is a good like time to talk about this. I'll try and find this situation, and I'll screenshot and draw you like a little picture. But yeah, so like okay, you just spread there. By the way, so ignite, how it works is whenever you fire blast, it spreads it to up to 4 targets in your if you're in combustion, but it's less outside of combustion. So like right now, you don't even have ignite on this hyena, but it'll be there soon because you'll probably fire blast. Never mind, it's dead. Bye bye. Okay.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
here
only
I was
fire
just
blast does it.
farming. I was pooling, I think.
Yeah, I mean that's fine. I can tell if you have GI not because of the UI. Okay, so yeah, boss does its thing, and then here we have the sorting. So it's like we hold our combustion for the sorting to see if we get it.
This
I
will
think you
fuck
used
up.
it right away.
I will fuck
It's a
this up.
little
Yeah.
risky to do that because the sorting is going to tell you if you have to go do mechanics.
Yeah.
So like if you press this combustion and then you get sorted and you're on the ball, you're just like losing combust, and you're gonna have like 2 minutes of combustion cooldown.
Yeah, this is
So it's like super
a
dangerous.
mistake I made. I think every single pull that night, and I didn't identify that until this morning when I looked at the VOD. It was kind of rough. I will fix
Okay,
that.
you got lucky this time.
I think I got lucky almost every time. Like my bad behavior got rewarded.
Okay, so here, let's draw a picture. So more on the fire blast point. Okay, imagine a scenario where the boss just went this way, right? And this ad has ignite. Imagine that there's like a bunch of dudes over here, right? Let's say that there's like 5 mobs right behind this guy, okay? So we have those 5 mobs over here that we probably want to spread ignite to, right? But the thing is the boss has moved to the right, yeah? Like we don't have the ability to spread the ignite anymore because the boss has moved. So if you're gonna spread ignite here, basically your ignite is gonna be spreading to all of these guys, right?
Yeah.
It's about the hitbox of ignite. And then this guy's over here, and then there's these sets. But you have an ignite here, okay? So this bombshell also has the ignite spread range, right? So what you can do in the case like this is if you have a mouse over fire blast as a keybind, like a separate keybind, in your normal rotation, you can just put your mouse over this mob, right? And then if you click to spread ignite, or if you press your focus, your mouse over fire blast, right? So you put your mouse right here on this nameplate. You press mouse over fire blast. This fire blast is going to spread to these guys now,
Oh,
even though the
gotcha.
boss is over here. And you just do this like where you do it normally in your rotation, right? So you convert a heating up into a hot streak, and you'd still pyro this guy. Like you're not swapping targets.
Yeah.
It's just you just like mouse over ignite spread. This is something you should be paying attention to, because
Okay.
sometimes the boss will move the direction that is away from all the rest of the mobs you want to spread to. And if this is a pretty big ignite, which it is, right? You just exited combustion here. It's a
Yeah.
pretty big ignite. This is probably going to be ticking for like 1,000,000 damage, and you're going to get like 5 ticks, I think, left on this, right? So it's like 5,000,000 damage times however many it spreads. Let's say it spreads to 3, right? That's like, 5,000,000 times 3. You're getting like 15,000,000 extra damage here.
Oh shit. Yeah.
Like that's pretty significant, right?
That's a lot.
So you gotta pay attention to what has ignite and what doesn't, because sometimes you're gonna have like one dude with ignite, a bunch of dudes next to him who don't have it, and you can't keep spreading from the boss. Ideally, you'd spread this ignite, right? This ignite's probably better to spread, but this one's probably pretty big too. Like this is probably a nice cooker one. So I don't know how much this is taking for, but yeah. So make yourself a mouse over fire blast macro. If you
Okay.
need one, I can write it for you, but I think that would be hugely beneficial to you. I mean, look, this is taking for 630, right? So like right here, if you were to spread it, you would go to these hyenas. But you could also just spread the boss one here, because I think they're close enough now since the boss moved back. But yeah, just something you should definitely pay attention to.
Okay.
Did I ever explain how Ignite works other than the
Yeah, the
like how to
inflating
spread it?
balloon and stuff. Wow, I got so lucky there. Both the GI proc and hypothermia. Yeah, the
Okay.
inflating balloon, and if you stop hitting the primary target, it slowly deflates, or it all deflates eventually, and you lose giga damage. We
Yeah,
spent a really
every
long time.
separate instance of damage creates its own Ignite value.
Yeah.
Ignite is the culmination of all of those Ignite values layered on top of each other, essentially. But they all have their own value, and they all have their own duration.
Yep. So
So there's
like,
no way to game it, but you do want to make sure that you're like at least hitting the target for long enough that your Ignite is